Los tildes en español. En inglés sencillo. Spanish accents in plain English. Look familiar? This is called a written accent. It's used to show the emphasis or stress of a word when spoken. No matter what language you speak, each word will have stress on one part. In English, you know that this word is pronounced history instead of history. In Spanish, many words must have a written accent to show how they are pronounced. Knowing where to write these accents can be really tricky if you don't know the rules. So let's break down Spanish accents into plain English. First of all, keep in mind that not every word in Spanish has a written accent. We only have to write the accent mark when we pronounce the word differently than what is normal. You may be wondering, what is normal? Well, in Spanish there are rules that tell us how to pronounce a word. There are two different rules when it comes to writing accents in Spanish and knowing how to pronounce a word. Let's take a look at these rules. Rule number 1. Look at these words. They are all pronounced with the accent on the second to last syllable. Simply count back from the end. 1, 2. And that's where you'll put the stress on the word. This rule applies to any word that ends in a vowel, an N, or an S. Therefore, these words are pronounced honesta, gato, tomate, dibujas, and beben. Let's move on to the next rule. Rule number 2. If the word ends in any consonant other than an N or an S, we must follow a different rule. Now look at these words. All of these words have the accent on the last syllable. Libertad, reloj, pincel, amor, actriz. All of these words end in a consonant other than N or S, and the last syllable gets the accent. Now, when a word does not follow one of these two rules, we must use a written accent. Of course, you will only know where to write the accent once you have heard this word spoken. Take, for example, the word pencil in Spanish. This word requires a written accent because it ends in a consonant other than N or S, but we put the accent on the first syllable. This breaks the rule that we had just seen, where it ends in a Z, but the accent is on the last syllable. Here, the word ends in a Z, but we want to say it with the emphasis on the first syllable. That means we have to write the accent. So therefore, this word is pronounced lápiz instead of its normal way of pronouncing lápiz. Otherwise, this would be incorrect. Here are some other words that need written accents. Estúpida, café, acróbata, ámbar, difícil, cáliz, dragón, estás, and césped. Now you know how to pronounce any Spanish word you may come across by learning Spanish accents in plain English.